Morning. Today we are starting with the session on .NET 3.5. Now before we look at what is there in .NET 3.5, right, we've seen .NET evolve from .NET 1.0 to .NET 1.1 to .NET 2.0, right? All of these were actually upgrades, right? So the actual framework, the actual runtime went through a change, right? So there were a lot of framework classes added, there were changes made to the runtime, right? After .NET 2.0, we had .NET 3.0, but this was not an actual upgrade to 2.0, because the core runtime remains the same. Yeah? What was added, right, were basically sub frameworks. So we had frameworks like Windows Presentation Foundation, Windows Communication Foundation, Windows Workflow Foundation, Windows Card Space. So these were frameworks that were built on top of the 2.0 framework. So though it was called .NET 3.0, it was not actually an upgrade, right? Similarly, what we now have, .NET 3.5 is also not actually an upgrade over 2.0, right? This is also where new features have been added to the language compilers. And some features that have been added to ASP.NET. So again, the core runtime is yet the 2.0 runtime. It's not changed. So today's session, what we are going to have a look at in 3.5 are the new language features of C# 3.0. So as a part of .NET Framework 3.5, we get a new C# compiler, which is the C# 3.0 compiler. So we're going to have a look at what are the new language enhancements in C# 3.0. To list what we are going to cover, we'll have auto-implemented properties, we have object initializers, collection initializers, extension methods, lambda expressions, we have the var keyword, and like we had anonymous class methods in 2.0, we now have anonymous types. So these are the things that we are going to cover today. I assume that everybody will be comfortable with .NET 2.0 and features of .NET 2.0 like generics, anonymous, methods. Okay. So to start off with, let's have a look at auto-implemented properties. When we talk about properties in .NET, right, we have data members which are private to the class, and we have property procedures which are get set, which are public. So you would typically create a private member and you would have public methods which would read and write to that member. So methods like get, which would return the property value, and a method like set, which would set the property value. So private data member and methods which let you retrieve or set a value into that data member. Right? Often we create data classes which actually contain only properties which are doing get set, right? Not doing any kind of really validations in that. Right? Now in C# 3.0, this entire implementation can be generated for us by the compiler, right? So that all we need to do is define a public int id, which is the property, and specify that it is a property by just putting a get set. This will go and generate the implementation for us. Right? So when we compile this, it will actually generate this implementation for us. Of course, it goes without saying, because the compiler is going to generate this for us at compile time, right? The variable private data member that it's going to create, the name of that member is also going to be generated by the compiler.